Welcome to AT Insider. My name's Eleanor, and in this video, I'm going to be talking about my experience taking the PSAT as someone with a learning disability who uses accommodations. So without further ado, let's jump right into it. This video is going to be broken down into 3 sections. The first section being, what did I do in preparation for taking the PSAT? The second section being, how was actually taking the PSAT? And the third section being my advice to you, whether you are months, weeks, or days away from taking the exam. So, how did I prepare for taking the PSAT? To sum it up, me and my support system did a lot. The first, I think most important thing that we did is months in advance of taking the test, we ensured that College Board had allowed me to utilize the proper accommodations. And that's going to be a whole different video for another day of how to deal with College Board. But let me just say, however far you are away from your exam, ensure right now, today, start sending out emails or calls or however you communicate with College Board, either if that's through your school or directly, make sure that you have your proper accommodations in place. And that brings me to the second thing I did. From day one, knowing that I was actually going to take the PSAT, I was in constant communication with my school. And the critical thing that allowed the PSAT, for me at least, to go so smoothly, it was making sure that everyone far ahead of the actual exam day knew exactly what I needed and what they needed to do to ensure that I had the proper testing experience. And so now what did I do? Well, I went through the process, an 8-hour-long process of testing all of the different accommodation options. For me, that was the text-to-speech tools and the screen reader tools that College Board allows you to use on their exams. And so to sum up that process in a very quick sentence, I'll say that none of them work properly. That's what I'll say. I'll say that because none of the options that I looked at and spent a long amount of time really diving into and testing all these different things, none of them work well in the math section and the reading section and are easy to use. So all of the screen reader options immediately didn't work for me. And if you want to know why, you can go back to my last video that I posted, which is going over the difference between text-to-speech and screen readers. So none of those options worked for me. So then we were basically down to the other 4 options, which were all text-to-speech tools built in to Chromebooks, Windows devices, MacBooks, and iOS devices. And again, what I found, in summary, was that none of them worked well in the math section. And that's because College Board programs the text or the digits that make up the math problems differently than they code the rest of the text in the exam. So none of those screen readers work perfectly on the math section or when reading aloud the math. So then what I basically decided to make my decision of which one of them I was going to be utilizing on the PSAT was very simply, which one am I most comfortable with? I do my day-to-day work on a MacBook. And so I immediately knew that I was going to be using the Mac option, which is separate from iOS. I'll throw a little picture up on screen why and how iOS is different from the Mac option, because that was a little bit confusing for me for a little bit, and I hope you don't get confused. So I immediately gravitated towards using the Mac text-to-speech option. I do suggest that you go over all of these different options because some of them may work for you when they didn't work for me. All right, now getting to test day. Test day went almost flawlessly. Because I was in constant communication with my school, because I had prepared the accommodations I was going to use with College Board months in advance, because months in advance I had gone over all of the text-to-speech options and picked the one and practiced with the one that I knew was going to work best for me, test day was a breeze. So now, what do I think you should do to ensure that you have a test day similar to mine? Well, again, I suggest that whatever day today is when you're watching this video, you start contacting College Board to ensure that you have the proper accommodations set up for you on test day. The other thing is whatever day today is for you when you're watching this, get in contact with your school or with the testing center that you're going to use and make sure that everyone knows what you need to succeed and their part in making sure that you can achieve your form of success. And then what can you do today, separate from calling other people, is testing the accommodations, right? If you're going to use a screen reader or a text-to-speech tool, it's going through and testing these. It's testing these on the practice tests that College Board provides. It's going through the whole exam for you if you have extended time to see if that's enough time for you, right? It's doing all of these different things to ensure that when you go to test day, you have practiced. Not just the content on the test, but actually the accommodations that you're going to utilize. So good luck. I know this is going to be a very hard process. It was, at least for me, a very challenging and tedious process, but I know you can do it. If you want to see other videos like this, videos where I talk about my experience with dyslexia and my experience using accommodations, or if you want to see videos different from this, where I go through and actually review different specific assistive technology products, you can go to my YouTube channel to see all of those videos. If you want to see a lot of these videos written up in essay form, you can go to my website, which will be the first link in the description below. I hope you have a great day. Good luck on your journey. I know you can do it. Bye.